Good morning, bird brains, and welcome to an in the office video. Today I'm going to tell you guys all about my new helmet, the Simpson Outlaw Ghost Bandit. I think that's the name. A lot of you guys wanted me to review this helmet. Spoiler alert, this is not the review. As you can see, I just got it in, but I kind of wanted to show you guys the process of how I turn a regular helmet into a motovlogging setup such as this one. This is not really going to be a detailed step-by-step how-to, but hopefully you guys can tell just by what I'm doing how to set up your own setup, or at least get some ideas. So first of all, let's go ahead and run through what we have to do to the helmet, and then we'll get started. So first things first, we have the white Ghost Bandit. This is the one with the internal shield here. Right now it has a clear lens in the front and a light smoke lens on the interior. We're actually gonna be swapping that around by installing a dark smoke outer lens and a clear inner lens. We also got the dark smoke pin lock. Don't know exactly if we're supposed to be using a dark smoke with a dark smoke, but I figured, why not give it a try? I always complain that my lenses are not dark enough anyways, so I figured let's go for as dark as we can get. I do about 90% of my riding in very bright South Texas sunlight, so I like dark visors, hence why I got the clear interior visor. That way if I ever get stuck out in, you know, the darkness without having clear riding glasses on me, I can still use that interior shield to try to help block some of the wind and debris. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything unwrapped. Like I said, this is all brand new stuff. And also I've never changed a lens on this helmet, nor an interior lens ever. So this is gonna be basically an idiot's guide on how to do this. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and get rid of this tag here. I'm sure this is all the directions and such. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of flip through this, make sure I don't mess anything up. These look like reflective stickers maybe? I don't know. Basically telling you how to put it on, how to put it on in French, how to put it on in Spanish, and that's it. There's no directions on anything here, but hopefully this is pretty self-explanatory. So I've already kind of taken a look at the visor. It looks like you pull on these tabs and push all the way up and then out. Huh. That's pretty easy. So I think I'm gonna put the pin lock on prior to putting the visor on the helmet. I think that'll be easier. I've never used a pin lock before. All of my visors I've had have either just fogged up on me or they have a built-in anti-fog. So I'm hoping this has some directions here. Okay, there's a little step-by-step here. So visor off, logo. You want the logo like that. Do I need to peel anything off of this or? Okay, yes, there's an interior layer. All right. I guess that's it. Just gotta peel this now. Oh, that's not too bad. I think that'll be just fine. All right, now we're just gonna put this back on. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult since I can't see where the tabs are at all. This is gonna be fun, guys, I can already tell you that. I didn't do it right. All right, visor installed. Now let's move on to the interior visor. So looking at this, it looks like you just grab it and pull. I'm gonna try to just grab it and pull. That's exactly how it comes out. Just grab it and pull. All right, so I'm guessing for this one, we just push it in. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try it on real quick, make sure everything's good to go on the inside. Oh yeah, very dark, very sound controlled as well. I don't hear any of the outside noise. It's pretty quiet in here, but still. All right, let's move on. All right, so before we can get stuff on this helmet, we have to get stuff off of this helmet. So what we're gonna be taking off is the Cena 30K, the GoPro Hero 4 Silver, as well as my power pack back here, and the Rider, what's it called? And the Ridewear Quick Connect buckle. All right, well that was easy. I'm gonna get all this stuff organized, make sure I have all of my tools, and then we'll get to work. All right, so first things first is I like to get as much of the junk out of the helmet as I possibly can. Just makes it easier to run wires and things like that. All right, so there you have it. All of the liners have been removed. You can see it does have the pockets for the Cena speakers, which we will be taking advantage of. Oh, one final thing. That's to remove the chin skirt. Wow, these vents are closable? Okay, Simpson, I see you. That's pretty dope. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is install the Cena. Now on my last helmet, I was not able to utilize the side clamp, but I think I'm gonna be able to use it on this new one. All right, now let's test it. Installed on the back of the helmet there. A little bit further back than I usually like it, but with this little visor switch there, really nothing I can do about it. But it does clear the Cena, so I don't know if they were thinking of that when they brought it into production, but it is sitting completely clear of the little shield switch here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get the speakers where they should all be going. All right, folks, there we have it. Both speakers as well as the microphone have been installed. All I was using to install it was just a little bit of double-sided tape just to keep everything in place. I would usually use hook and loop, like Velcro, but I actually don't have any, so I just stuck some double-sided tape. Once you get the helmet pads in there, it really doesn't matter. Everything usually stays where it's supposed to. So that's more of just a hold it in place while I get this stuff on. All right, and next up, I'm gonna move on to the camera setup. So for the camera setup, I usually run a off the side mount, something along the lines of that. But of course, with this helmet, that is where the vents are, so that's not the most ideal situation. So I'm gonna try to do a front mount, but you have to keep the camera, let me see if I can illustrate this. You have to keep the camera far enough away from the front of the helmet because one, you want to be able to tilt it back just a tad bit since your helmet does kind of sit at a downward angle. You want it facing kind of perpendicular to the ground. But two, I also have cables coming out of the back of mine, so I need a little bit of room to fit those cables. So about right there would be ideal for me. Now I just kind of have to jack around with these mounts and see which combination of these mounts will give me the best mounting point. All right, I think I got it. Now, once you have your mount kind of where you want it, go ahead and crank down all your screws. These are not stock GoPro screws. You can pick these up on Amazon, or actually you can pick them up at most local hardware stores. I'll go ahead and include a link to them down in the description along with the sizes that you'll need. But this just allows you to, one, make your mount a lot stronger as far as how tight everything is, but it also just really cleans up the look. You don't have a bunch of thumb screws. I mean, imagine if every time I had one of these, I had, you know, a giant thumb screw sticking out. I mean, it would be ridiculous. So if you're not gonna have to move it, don't make it movable. Next up, we're gonna see where I want the power supply to be mounted at. Now, this is a pretty simple process since it's just a giant brick. You just basically got to find out where it fits best, that you'll get the least amount of crimping on the wires. I usually like something along those lines. Essentially what I'll do is just run the wire in and then down the right side of the helmet here. All right, and once you have that, essentially all we need to do is mix up some Sugru. What this is like a moldable putty. Comes in little packets like this. I usually use 2 per mount, just because that's usually how much it takes. Essentially what this is like putty. You mix it up and stick it where you want and then leave it for 24 hours. And after that 24 hours, it is solid as a rock. It is very dirty though, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get some paper towels to wipe my hands off once I'm done. That way I don't get black all over this brand new white helmet. On second thought, I'm actually going to do the quick connect first. Reason being is that this thing takes quite a bit of jacking around with the helmet to get it to actually latch on like it should. And that Sugru stays pretty soft for a while. So I don't want to be moving around my mounts as I'm trying to get this on. All right, quick disconnect is on. Like I said, it takes a lot of jacking around with to get it to where you want it to go. All right, now onto the Sugru. I'm gonna go ahead and start in the front and basically just work my way back. Basically, you're just going to sit here and knead this for about 30 seconds. Now we'll activate it, and then you've got 30 minutes to set whatever you're trying to set. All right, after that 30 seconds has passed, what I like to do is get it into a small ball here, stick it on the mount, flatten it out just a little bit, and then wherever you're applying it to, apply it and squish it down. And then once it's squished down, you can take a tool and kind of work around the edges and clean up any of the excess. And then you can take a paper towel, or I've also found toilet paper works really good. You can get a little bit torn off here, and you can actually go around and clean up the edges even more. Because any little bit of residue that sticks behind, it's going to be there. All right, so that one is donezo. Go ahead and move on to the back. Same process as before. And we're back. So unfortunately, these have not set completely. They still are moving a little bit. So I'm not going to mount everything right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some cables ran. Now, the 2 main cables, or the only 2 cables we have to run, are the microphone to the mic adapter, as well as the power cable to the battery pack. All right guys, so there you have it. All we have left to do is actually just clip this onto here and clip this back on there. Like I said, I'm not gonna do that right now because the Sugru is not quite set. And then of course, as always, I'm going to be applying my graphics to the side of the helmet as well, but I don't have those cut out, so can't do that today either. Well guys, expect a full length review on this helmet very shortly, but of course I'm gonna get a couple thousand miles on it first. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.